At this time, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce the first of our two featured speakers. As the nation's top law enforcement executive, the Attorney General of the United States has always had a challenging job, even more so today, as he tackles the dual wars on crime and terror here at home. We are most fortunate to have an Attorney General who brings vast experience to the job. For 18 years, he served as a U.S. District Court Judge for the Southern District of New York, the last 6 of those years as Chief Judge. His long and distinguished legal career includes work as a federal prosecutor and as a member of a prestigious law firm. Last November, he was sworn in as the 81st Attorney General of the United States. This past May, he honored us with his presence and eloquence at our annual Candlelight Vigil. Today, he has returned to once again honor our fallen American law enforcement heroes and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and great privilege to introduce the Attorney General of the United States, Michael Mukasey.
Thank you, Craig. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, shortly, we will use the traditional and solemn act of laying a wreath to honor heroes who gave up their lives while protecting our communities, our homes, and our families. We honor 17 officers who were killed in the line of duty. The officers we honor today come from a wide range of law enforcement agencies, including police and sheriff's offices in Virginia and Maryland, and federal law enforcement agencies, including the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Bureau of Prisons, the Department of Homeland Security, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the Forest Service, and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. The death of each of these officers is an individual tragedy, whose starkest impact, of course, is felt by their families and their loved ones. But their deaths are a collective tragedy, too, for the communities they served and protected, and for all of those who work at law enforcement. The officers we honor today dedicated themselves to enforcing the laws of our great nation, to making sure those words on paper have real meaning. And this ceremony reminds us that doing that, upholding the rule of law, does not come cheap. It takes a heavy toll on the men and women who serve, and on the families and friends whose love and support make that service possible. It takes its heaviest toll when one of those patriots is lost. Because these officers fell while protecting our safety, our prosperity, and the integrity of our system of government, we remember and honor them. The mission of law enforcement has been summed up in the phrase, to protect and to serve. That expression does not mention that an officer may be called on to give his or her life in the line of duty, but that possibility is understood. It's part of the code honored by every officer and every agent, by every spouse, every parent, every child, every friend. It's a special burden that they all bear to give the rest of us the luxury and safety and peace. The luxury of safety and peace. Today's ceremony allows us to express our appreciation for those who go to work every day, knowing that their names could someday be carved on this monument, and to their families and others close to them. But just as they have their duty and burden, we have ours. One, of course, is that those of us who benefit must keep sharply in our minds those who show bravery and make the sacrifice. We do that, of course, when we lay our former colleagues to rest, as I saw earlier this year when I attended the funerals for DEA Special Agent Tom Byrne and BOP Correctional Officer Jose Rivera, the 2 members of the Justice Department family who are among those we honor today. And we do that through ceremonies like this, when we ensure that the memory of their service and of their bravery does not fade over time. But beyond that, we must live our lives in such a way as to deserve their service and sacrifice, and the service and sacrifice of all law enforcement officers. Law enforcement is not about badges and uniforms. It's about taking a stand to preserve the rights of our neighbors and to shield them from danger. A coward and a bully will run when challenged. We're here today because these men and women did not run, because they stood their ground and did their jobs, whatever the consequences. May God rest their souls, and may each of you who is honoring a loved one no longer with us find strength in those who have gathered here today and in those who have dedicated themselves to carrying out on the mission, all of whom we thank for that dedication. Thank you very much.